Hello everyone, today, I have prepared a very interesting correspondence chess game played via letters. Such games could last for several months, as the players were not physically in the same place but sent their moves via letters, later via telegrams, radio, email, and eventually the internet. Our game today was played in 1916, with Reginald Smellie playing the white pieces and Boucher playing the black pieces. Let's get back to the game. A few opening moves have been played, and the madness begins right here. White captures the sacrifice knight, and black gives a check. The white king has only one option, e2. The d-pawn advances to the center, and after that, white initiates action with queen to a4. And pleasant pressure along that diagonal, threatening an uncovered attack on the king, so black tries to protect itself with the pawn. He sacrifices it, forcing white to capture it. Now black advances another pawn. There's no more passage along this diagonal, allowing black to bring the bishop to a6 in the next move and pin the queen to the king if white doesn't react. White has seen this danger and retreats the queen back to a4. It gives the opportunity to the opponent to also retreat his bishop. Continuing on, the pawn applies pressure. Black ignores it and continues advancing their pawn. White does the same, after which, black moves the knight to the c5 square. Continuing to threaten the white queen, the queen doesn't have much free space, so it retreats to its initial position. Opportunity for further pressure, developing the bishop. He now attacks even 3 linked pieces, so white decides to offer a pawn exchange, which black accepts. The king now descends to the first rank, creating space for its bishop, but black doesn't allow it and blocks the passage with a pawn. White is in a very tricky position. He must do something to protect himself at least a little, so he moved the knight to c3, after which, black decisively plays with the queen and attacks the opponent's king. The king has few choices. He can't go to f2 due to the uncovered attack of the bishop, and if he doesn't want to sacrifice a piece, he has to go to d2. But black wants to sacrifice. He sacrifices his knight. What hides behind this beautiful sacrifice? The idea is very simple. If white decides to accept the sacrifice, the queen will come to the e2 square and give check. We know that the king has no free squares on the e file, and the pawn attacks the c2 square, so this would be checkmate. White has seen it and tries to make room for his king, capturing the knight with the queen. After this, black has achieved his goal and gives check with his queen, forcing the king onto the first rank. Now the bishop captures the knight and gives check. White has no choice but to recapture, after which the queen moves to that square and gives another check. The king moves forward, trying to find shelter. Black takes advantage of this and moves their king to a safe position. White is in a very bad position. He tried to move his knight and threaten the dangerous pawn, but another relentless attack on the king follows. Forces a new move. Only for the king to have to retreat back after the new check. Now comes a new threat. The pawn attacks the white queen, and under great pressure, white decides to free himself from the pawn. Black's bishop enters the game and gives check. White has no other solution but to sacrifice their knight. This sacrifice is willingly accepted, and the king can only retreat to square d1. Black has only one correct move here, and I believe you've all found it. Indeed, it's queen to g4. After this move, white resigned the game. I hope you enjoyed this match. If you did, you can watch another incredible game from my channel. Until next time, goodbye.